Yow! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of Cooking with eXtine. What we're going to be doing for this episode is making some Yao-lognese sauce, aka Yao-lo or bolognese. Basically, a beef and tomato sauce with plenty of vegetables. We're going to use up the vegetables that we cut earlier, as well as a pound of ground beef. Now, Italian sausage with fennel is real classic for a bolognese. That's one of my favorites. We're using beef today. You can use pork. You can use chicken if you really wanted to. It's a very flexible recipe. Now, when it comes to the amount of veggies to use, also you're kind of looking for a ratio here. That's a really good way to approach any sort of recipe. I used 2 sweet onions, which I've diced up. I used basically kind of like 3 small carrots and 3 kind of celery stems. Basically, it's a little under half of the amount of onion is what I have here in carrots and celery. Another thing that you can add to this is actually fennel is really good. We're not doing it today, however. And then I have the minced garlic. I used about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, and love garlic, especially the season right now. Great healing properties in garlic, keep you going. And then I have 2. These are like 26 ounce, 28 ounce cans of crushed tomatoes. Is really the way to use it here. I'm also going to use some white wine to deglaze. We'll get into that later once we start our saute. And that's about it, though. You definitely can add some more herbs, some more seasoning to it. I always am very straightforward, though. Love just salt and pepper, maybe a touch of paprika, but really doesn't take much craziness in terms of ingredients. So just to run down the procedure for you, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our ground beef. And then we're going to take that beef out of the pot. We're going to use all that oil, olive oil that's still in there, and then we're going to cook our vegetables in that. Also going to add a little bit of butter to that saute. That'll help control the temperature, keep it low, and just to add another little flavor of deliciousness. We'll start with the onions, get those kind of translucent is the term, maybe browning just a little bit. Then we're going to throw in our carrots and our celery. This is where you get into a little bit of personal preference in terms of like how crunchy you want your vegetables at the end. It's kind of hard to overcook this stage though, however. Before we add our tomatoes in, as well as that beef back into this recipe, we're going to add that garlic in. You don't want the garlic to saute as long as the carrots and the celery do. At the same time, you still want it to stay in there so that the flavors can kind of marry and marinate together. We're also going to use our white wine to deglaze the vegetables before we put the tomatoes in. Basically, using that wine to kind of help pick up the kind of caramely brown bits at the bottom of our pot. There's a lot of flavor in there, a lot of deliciousness in that kind of caramelization that's happened, and we want to bring that off the bottom of the pot and get it into our flavor marinade. Once we feel like our vegetables have sauteed fully, then we're going to add our tomatoes. Let those kind of simmer a little bit, break down. Then we'll add the garlic at the end. Let it simmer a little bit more. And then we'll be done. Alright, so that's it for our bolognese. Now that the sauce is finished, you can set it aside, you can boil some pasta, you can eat it right now. But also we made a pretty big pot of bolognese, so freezing it is a good move, breaking it into smaller containers, stick it in the freezer, and then you can just pull it out whenever you're ready for another batch of pasta. About 2 cups or 500 milliliters is a pretty good sized container for a single serving of bolognese. that'll do it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm eXtine. We'll see you next time. Peace out.